Diyos. Maraming salamat po sa buhay at lakas na aming taglay, sa liwanag ng kaisipan at sa pagkakataong maipagpatuloy ang pag-aaral ng mga kabataan. Gabayan mo po ang bawat isa sa amin. Anuman ang bahagi na aming gagampanan, naway maging maayos at matagumpay ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral na aming gagawin sa araw na ito. Patawarin mo po kami sa aming mga pagkulang at pagkakasala. At sa aming paggawa, ikaw po ang aming makasama. Amen.
Good morning, Valenzuelano learners. Welcome to another session of oral communication in context. I know you still have this hangover from yesterday's online assessment. I hope you are already well rested so that you can join me to another session full of learning and fun. So for the last meetings, if you could still remember, I have discussed with you several types of speeches according to purpose and delivery, right? So for this morning session, we're going to deal with the following most Here are the different most essential learning competencies that we are going to tackle this morning. Itapat mo sir sa ano? Itapat mo sir sa PPT. And we are live again for this morning. These are the most essential learning competencies. And that is one of the technical problems that we may encounter in every situation. All right? So here are our melts. First one is distinguishes types of speeches, and the second one would be uses principles of effective speech delivery in different situations. So for this morning, to tackle one of the types of speeches according to purpose would be informative speech. And this morning we will have organizing and delivering an informative speech. So as a recall, what is an informative speech? An informative speech provides information about a specific person, object, or a place. So this time around, we're going to deal with the different types of speech according to different types of informative speeches. For the first one, we have speech about objects or people. The second one would be speech about processes. The third one would be speech about events. And the last one would be speech about concepts. This time around, let us know what about speech about objects or people or places. I know you have already people and objects in mind that you want to inform people about. So for this one, this focuses on tangible items like gadgets, products, structures, or people. Visual aids may be necessary so that your audience would be able to picture out and visualize that particular object or people you are telling them about. So here are some examples. For example, you want to tell your audience about Sherlock Holmes. So who is Sherlock Holmes? So your purpose could be to inform the audience about the fictional character's profile, including his traits and abilities. If you would be interested about him, you would feel very, very intelligent knowing about things about Sherlock Holmes. How about the next one? Another example would be the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I don't know if I am already updated with this latest gadget or latest model. But what could be the possible purpose on this speech? It is to inform the audience about the latest features and specifications and the price of this latest release of Apple product. I bet whenever you are interested in a certain phone or models or laptops or any gadget, I know you are trying to research in the internet to know something about that, and you may learn something about these models through different vlogs that's being published or uploaded on YouTube. Next, another example could be Manila Cathedral. We all know that Manila Cathedral is one of the tourist spots in the Philippines. So what could be the possible purpose in delivering this kind of speech about Manila Cathedral? It is to inform the audience about the historical and architectural features of the church. How about speech about processes? So this one focuses on a process or sequence of events, and visual aids are also necessary. So this one, in discussing or giving an informative speech about a certain process, a particular organizational chart or story mapping is important to give a clearer presentation of your topic or speech. So let us have some example. So for example, we have the topic about first aid. So your purpose here is to inform the audience how to administer a first aid to a sprained ankle. How about short story writing? I believe you have creative nonfiction in your subjects and you might be told to write short stories. So your purpose here as a speaker could be to inform the audience about how a publishable story is written. The next one is photography. So I believe with all those gadgets that we have, we all had this inkling or interest in taking pictures. So here, we may attend some speech activity that discusses about photography, specifically on how to take good pictures. Alright? And how about web designs? So here, the possible purpose could be to inform the audience how basic web designs are created. How about the third type of informative speech? So we have here a speech about events. So events here doesn't talk about a present gathering or happening, but this one might talk about something that is historical. So speech about events in terms of informative speeches focuses on an event that happened, so from the past, is happening at present, or might happen in the future. So let us see some examples. The first one is the martial law. So we all know that this one talks about the past. So your possible purpose here could be to inform the audience about the impacts of martial law on economy and politics. The second example could be zombie invasion. That might talk about what might happen in the future, right? So the possible purpose here is to inform the audience about the possibility of zombie invasion. Next possible topic could be an accident, specifically informing the audience about the details surrounding a car accident. Might discuss about what are the possible causes and origins and what solution might we take or first aids. Next, we have cosplay shows, because I believe some of us here is very fond of anime or manga, and we have heard about cosplay. And as I heard, there had been it is a celebration of the National Reading Month, and there are schools wherein required or enjoin their students to join cosplay. So what about this one? You may give information on cosplay shows and the preparations made by cosplayers and organizers. How about speech about concepts? So this one, we may use this one whenever we want to inform people on certain belief, knowledge, theories, principles, or ideas. So here is an example, Big Bang Theory. I'm not talking here about the comic series, no? I'm talking about here about the Big Bang Theory itself and the scientific basis. So you want to inform the audience about the origin of the Big Bang Theory. How about the Bermuda Triangle? I don't know if you have heard about the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. Your possible purpose here is to inform the audience about, the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle, because they say that there are some aircrafts and boats or ship who enters that Bermuda Triangle which have been reported missing. So there's a mystery in that, and then you may have that as your topic for your speech. Next example could be focus group discussion. So this one is essential, I believe, for your research subject. So the possible purpose here in your speech or discussion would be to inform the audience about the importance of focus group discussion in qualitative research. Next example would be feminism. So here, your possible purpose is to inform the audience about a feminist perspective on the patriarchal state of the country. So this one talks about gender and development, right? So those are some examples that I can give you in the different types of informative speeches. Now let's move on to the next topic. Of course, as part of writing or speech writing, we have to observe organizational patterns so that our listener or our audience would not be lost with your speech. So after knowing your topic and your purpose in speech, now it is time to organize your ideas. So we have here organizational patterns. Let's start with chronological pattern. We have spatial pattern. We have topical or categorical pattern. We have cause-effect pattern. And we have comparison and contrast. For the chronological pattern, this can be used if you want to present the history, evolution, or development of your topic in a sequential order from past to present or beginning to end. This kind of pattern requires time markers to indicate the flow of time and the process. Okay, so maybe we can use the example a while ago about Big Bang Theory and how it originated and how or who are the proponents of this particular theory, walking back into the first that it was proposed. So here is the possible pattern that you may use or outline in your speech. So of course, as normally whenever we write, we will always have three main parts, which is the intro, body, conclusion. In your introduction, you have to include there your attention getter. You may have a trivia, a question, introducing your topic, and then second one would be your thesis statement or your main point. For your body, since this one is chronological, you may have it step by step. So you may have step A, step B, and step C. You may have it per year, like year A, year B, year C, providing that you are having this flow wherein it will start from the past to present, okay? And then you may use time markers or transitional markers like first, second, and third. That is for your body. For your conclusion, of course, you should always provide a summary of your points, and you have to leave your audience a memorable statement or a clincher statement so that there is something that they can take away from your speech. For the second pattern is we have spatial pattern. This is used when you want to talk about physical structure of an object on the way things fit together in a certain space. Topic that deal with geography fit this pattern best. Let me share with you a certain example that we had back when I was in college. So this is throwback time. I remembered our teacher asked us to write an essay or a speech about how are we going to present or describe our house. So that is very spatial because every corners and every side of our house was explored because of that particular speech. Next, we have topical or categorical pattern. This can be used if you want to inform your audience about the main features, descriptions, or categories of your topic. So here is a possible outline for your topical or categorical pattern. So for the introduction, we have attention getter. This is statement and main point. So for the body, since we are talking about a topic or a category, you may divide them according to features or according to their description and or according to category. For your conclusion, of course, summary of points and a clincher statement. For the fourth pattern, we have cause and effect. So this can be used if you want to show the causal relationship of events or phenomena. Your outline may follow different pattern of organization depending on the relationship between the causes and effects of the event. So here is your possible outline. So we have here single cause and multiple effects. So we have the introduction for the attention getter, and then thesis statement, or your main point highlighting the cause of an event or phenomenon. For the body, of course, since we have the single cause on our introduction, for the body, let us have the different effects. So effect A, B, and C. For our conclusion, summary of points, and a memorable statement. Another possible pattern would be single effect and multiple causes. For the introduction, we have again attention getter, and for the thesis statement, highlighting the effect of an event or phenomenon. So, since we have multiple causes, we will discuss that in our body. So we have cause A, B, and C. For the conclusion, the summary of your points or your causes, and a memorable statement. We have here, how about multiple causes and multiple effects? So for the introduction, we have here attention getter, and we have the thesis statement, or the main point highlighting the multiple causes and effects of an event or phenomenon. So here, for the body, since we have your multiple causes and multiple effects, you may have introduced first the causes. So we have cause A and B, and then followed by the effects A and B. For the conclusion, we have summary of points and a memorable statement. How about another pattern for cause and effect would be domino effect. So how about this one? For the introduction, we have attention getter. For the thesis statement, we have main point stating the domino effect of an event or phenomenon. Since this one, we're talking about domino effect, so there are certain phenomena wherein there is a cause and effect relationship. So for the body, you will observe here, the cause and effect is both letter A because they are connected with each other. And then the second part would be cause B and then effect B. And for your conclusion, summary of points and a memorable statement. I hope you still follow, okay, Valenzuelano students. And then next pattern, we have here comparison contrast pattern. Of course, whenever we talk about comparison and contrast, there are two concepts that are being compared and contrasted. So this can be used if you want to compare objects, events, or concepts underscoring their similarities and differences. So the thing with comparison and contrast pattern would be, we are pointing out the similarities and differences of certain objects, events, or concepts. Here is the outline. So we have here the block pattern. So introduction would be attention getter. Your thesis statement would be the main point highlighting the concepts compared. And then for the body, you may start with an object or an event or a concept, and then we will compare point A and point B. For the second heading, we have object, event, concept B, and we will compare now or contrast point A and B. For the conclusion, summary of points and a memorable statement. For the point-by-point pattern and comparison and contrast, for the introduction, it's still the same. So we have the attention getter and the main point highlighting the concepts compared. But for the body, you will see here that you will comparison of point A, and then you are going to present here the object, event, or concept A and B. For the comparison point B, you will have here the object, event, concept A and B. Okay, so I hope you can still follow. And then for the conclusion, we have summary of points and a memorable statement. So those are about the types of informative speeches and the different organizational patterns that you may use in your research, or in your speeches, I'm sorry. So with that, I hope you can indicate your questions in the comment box so that next meeting I would be able to address all those questions. Or if it can't be wait, you may ask your subject teachers for the question and answer. Okay? So with that, thank you, Valenzuelano students. Happy learning!